Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Healing from Within with me, your host, Keryn Rose. Today we're talking hugs. It's the first of 3. I decided I'll just stick with 3 episodes, so this week and for the next following 2 weeks, talking about what I call tools that you can add to your toolkit. This is all about you being able to look after yourself, to care for yourself, to heal for yourself. Look, hugs, I love them. I love them. And before I started to actually record this episode, I've been giving some thought to what title to give these next 3 weeks. How am I going to tie them together? And I was reminded it's the power of little things that can help you heal. A hug for me, absolutely, probably close to a smile, but a hug is magic. And I remember receiving a fridge magnet back in the days when you got fridge magnets. One size fits all is what a hug was described as. And indeed, if it's my 6'2" son that hugs me, granted he almost misses, but he's tall, I'm not. He has to bend down to give me a hug. When I'm hugging my granddaughter, I'm the one that bends down. But there's something about a hug that most people will appreciate. I can remember having an incident in my shop back at the turn of the century where every time I would hand people their change, I was intent on having some physical contact with their hand. It was my way of saying thanks for coming in and supporting me in my business. Well, this particular client, unbeknownst to me, loathed physical contact, and she literally couldn't handle it from a physical perspective. So I copped a little bit of her response when she said, look, I don't like doing that, and that she was never going to come into the shop. Now, granted, I did not know, and from her perspective, I overstepped the mark. I, to this day, still struggle to understand how someone can't appreciate, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't really melt into that energy of a hug. Now, during COVID times, I can clearly remember that hugging was a no-no. And I'm going to fess up and say hugs are at the top of my love language. A hug for me tells me that somebody cares for me, somebody loves me. When I hug somebody, ditto. It's that, hey, thanks for being part of my team. I still to this day have girlfriends that say, no, don't hug me, please, for fear of getting an illness, just in case I may have an illness. So look, the world has changed. However, has the energy of a hug shifted? And I would say now more than ever, for those that are going to allow themselves to be open to the energy of a hug, magic will start to absolutely appear in their life. In preparing for this particular episode, I went searching for scientific data to go, okay, what science has happened out there that is going to support the benefit of hugs? And I'll be honest, I got lost in it all. And I'm thinking, is that really the message I'm after? Or was I wanting to share with you things that you can do to infuse that magic, that energy that comes with a hug? And at the end of this episode, I'll share with you what I feel is really the key to a magic hug. Now, in all of my reading, I will fess up to say that research absolutely shows that receiving hugs has both physical and mental health benefits. Hugs can lower your blood pressure and your heart rate. whilst also improving your cardiovascular function. Very important in one's life. Hugs can decrease the release of cortisol, making you less stressed and allows for an improved sleep. Now, hands up, who would love to be able to have and feel and benefit from an improvement in your sleep? Hugs can boost oxytocin in your body, which is it's known as the cuddle hormone, the love hormone. It simply has this chemical ability to make us feel happier. Hugs have been shown to reduce anxiety whilst increasing those feelings of belonging and safety. Hugs have this ability to balance your body, temporarily reducing chronic pain and strengthening your immune system. And the last little thing that I picked up was hugs can be comforting in a way to help you communicate with others. Again, if you are with a friend that is upset, to give them a hug will send them a message without using any words. That physical contact will send a message to say, I'm with you. We live in a world where individuals seem to be so disconnected from each other, and some are actually fearful of what is going on in the world. Being enveloped in a hug or enveloping somebody in a hug is going to say to them, hey, no need to fear. You've got this. I'm with you. You're not alone. The power of connection is magical. And as a species of human beings, we need to feel connected. We need to know we belong somewhere. Hugs. They're free. This is what I don't get. They are free. They cost nothing. I now am asking, particularly my family members when I'm with them, hey, may I have a hug? And when I have that and they walk away, I go, hey, can I have another one? I have noticed since living with myself, having left my marriage and the blow up and breakdown of all the relationships within that, I can go a day without having a hug from someone else. So I learned how to find hugs living as a single person. And I actually learned to hug myself. I can feel this electricity that runs through me when I wrap myself up in my own arms. It felt a bit weird to begin with because I grew up in a family that hugs they would just flow around the home. So is there something you can do? Absolutely. Hug yourself. And as you're doing it, share some words with yourself. And I actually have a name that I call myself when I'm having a conversation with myself. Again, living with myself, I'm thinking, okay, I'll often have a conversation. So it's KJ, and as I'm hugging myself, I say, KJ, great day today. Or KJ, you're awesome. Or KJ, you've got this. And as I'm doing it, my arms are literally wrapped around me. I will consciously, when I'm having my coffee first thing in the morning, put my hands around it and I will hug that cup. And I will say, thank you, thank you, thank you for this gorgeous drink that I'm about to indulge in. I will hug a tree. That is mind-blowing. To be open, knowing that the tree is connected down into Mother Earth, as am I, particularly when I consciously anchor myself into Mother Earth. But the tree and I are part of the same world that we live in, as are you. You are part of everything that is on this planet. So to hug a tree and to be in the energy of that tree, magic. If you are blessed to have a pet, and yes, I miss my boys, but my 2 dogs, OMG, and wasn't allowed to just hug one. I had to find a way of hugging them both at the same time. Hugging a pet will indeed fill you with joy, and I'm sure the pets don't mind it either. Hugs, really, folks, hugs are magical. Now, there is something that I read years ago, and it keeps popping up into my world, probably when I'm needing it. The question, how many hugs do we need? Well, there's a family therapist known as Virginia Satir, and she has been recorded as having said, we need 4 hugs a day for survival. We need 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and we need 12 hugs a day for growth. Now, while that might actually sound like a lot of hugs, I don't know if one can actually have too many hugs. There's something magical about that physical contact. And typically, my son would probably like to try and disagree with me here. He loves to be able to hug me one-armed because he's so big. And, little mama bear pops up and says, no, close the circuit. And I'll actually say those words, honey, close the circuit. And he wraps his arms around me, and it just feels so different. I said that I would share my little secret key that I love sharing with customers when I have in-person sessions. If you were to look at how people approach a hug these days, they tend to approach with the right shoulder. So that when you go in for a hug, typically people will turn and meet right shoulder to right shoulder and give a hug. And the hugs, they look fantastic. I was having a look at a video online of a conference that's going on over in America at the moment, attached to this wonderful product that I'm sharing with my clients and sharing with the world. These are frequency-infused products. And watching people hug, everyone was going in right shoulder to right shoulder. Big hug, smiles, laughter, fabulous. What I was shown by my team a few years ago was this idea of turning to lead with the left shoulder when you go in for a hug. And in doing that, when these 2 left shoulders come together, the 2 hearts are meeting and they are coming together. Think about it. When you pivot and lead with the right shoulder, your heart is on the outside of this hug. And so it's protected. And that's my belief. I truly believe that people going in like that, both hearts are the furthest away that they possibly can. Now, if you swap that around, you lead in with the left shoulder, which makes the other person mirror to lead in with their left shoulder, suddenly the hearts are together. The difference, mind-blowing. It may be hard to imagine, but when I test my clients, particularly as they go to leave my little haven, and we go to have a hug, I now ask, are you open for a hug? And they go, oh, I'd love to. And they'll immediately lead in with the right shoulder. So I'll match them. And then I'll say to them, may I please show you something? Of course you can. So I say, right, let's do that again. And I just pivot, I just swing my hips a little. Imagine you're on a ballroom dance floor. And they join, they pivot, and they meet me left shoulder to left shoulder. And I give them a hug. Now, I can sense the energy difference immediately. I step back and go, how was that? And they just go, wow. It is as simple as being open, being vulnerable to having your heart meet the heart of the person that you're hugging. My invitation to you today is to be consciously connected with your hugs. When you go to hug somebody, if you know them, I don't feel you're going to have any issue with just twisting the hips a little, leaning in with your left shoulder and having the 2 hearts meeting to go, hey, hi, I'm here with you. Have fun with it. You can either talk about it before you do it or just start doing it and notice the difference. The magnetic field of the heart is huge. And if you're going to turn and meet and have your 2 hearts meet, honestly, be prepared to be amazed. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I tell you what, if that's all that I've been able to do today in sharing this episode with you, to get you to consciously connect with when you hug someone, going and leading with your left shoulder and having a heart-to-heart hug. And that's what I call it. It's a heart-to-heart hug. Because when you're turning your right shoulder, the hearts ain't hugging. That's a little bit of a magic ingredient, I reckon, to shift the energy of the world. So here we are. We're at the end of this first tool. Now, everybody knows what a hug is. However, how consciously connected are you to the delivery of the message that comes with this hug? And indeed, are you present when you give this hug? Are you present in that moment and fueling that moment with your intention of, I want this person that I am hugging to know that I am with them, to know they're not alone, whatever the message is that is infused in that hug. We hug for many, many reasons. So enjoy doing the heart-to-heart hug. I invite you to contemplate starting hugging yourself. Let's be honest, you came in with yourself. You're going to leave this incarnation with yourself. You are the most important person in your life. Please do not underestimate the importance of your ability to hug yourself and infuse yourself with those messages of, I'm here with you. You are not alone. I love you. I am proud of you. Whatever, again, the message is that you feel you need to hear yourself say. Hugs, folk. Love them. Love them to bits. And go out and have some fun. Hugs are free. And God knows that the world could do with a hell of a lot more of them, I reckon. So, as I love to say, until we meet again.
May your day be full of the magic that is you, wherever you may be. Everything in this world is energy, and that includes you. Remember, you are the most important person in your world, and you came into this life with all the tools you will ever need to support your healing from within. Let the healing begin.